YouTube land and also social media lands. Welcome to an all new video. This video we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is a film and a great film series that started back in 1993. So we're gonna get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Tumblr, Threads, Patreon. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is a 7th film in a great series that started back in 1993, called Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah! Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah! So Jurassic World Rebirth is the 7th film in the Jurassic Park franchise, the 4th Jurassic World film, and a part of a whole new trilogy, and is the, you know, kind of reboot, kind of slash sequel slash type of deal that, you know, the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, you know, series is going with next. Now, I personally thought this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really done well, and I liked everything about it. I liked the concept that we went back to another island that was a part of InGen's whole process, and, you know, that they gave us something else that we didn't know about in the past about, you know, the whole Jurassic Park, you know, InGen thing. And as you have noticed throughout the Jurassic Park, you know, series, we have seen a lot of things that have really brought to our attention, like there's lots of sinister things going on with, you know, InGen and everything like that in this whole process, even though it was the pipe dream of, you know, Mr. Hammond to just create this world of bringing dinosaurs back to life and stuff like that. But yet, always there was something sinister in the background going on that could cause anything to happen. And once again, here we are with a new Jurassic Park film, and we have another thing we did not know about that InGen was creating. Now, as we all have come to see, as we've seen in the Jurassic World films, cross-breeding or cross-creating of certain dinosaurs has become kind of the norm. We had the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World, and then, of course, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we had another variant that was, you know, once again, splicing of different types of dinosaurs. Well, this time around, we get something even more interesting, that there was a lot more medical experimenting with dinosaurs' DNA than we had realized. And I think that was a really cool idea and a great way to extend the story on for Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchise. Now, this film happens to be directed none other by a gentleman that goes by the name of Mr. Gareth Edwards. Oh yeah, Gareth Edwards. Woo! Gareth Edwards, yeah! So Gareth Edwards, you might recognize as the director of Godzilla 2014. You might recognize him as the director of Star Wars Story of Rogue One, and so forth. And he is just a really fantastic director. I really enjoy what Gareth brings to his films. They're always very interesting. They're always very top-notch. I think the technology, the CGI, the general stuff he uses in his films are always on point and really done well. And then also he's just really good at giving us really great story-based films that have great action, great things going on in them, and just all around a really entertaining film. And that's what I feel he did with, you know, Jurassic World Rebirth. He gave us something new to really extend and change the, you know, franchise, and also to take us in a whole new direction. Now, like I said, you know, I feel that in the past, they've done the whole crossbreeding of, you know, and cross-making of dinosaurs. But I think Gareth did a great job of giving us something even more interesting, that all along they have been creating these creatures, and they just left them on an island to live, you know, type of deal, versus, you know, them trying to sell them and stuff like that, in which I think that was kind of fresh and new, and that's what I thought Gareth did a really good job with. Now, I think that, Gareth did a great job of giving us that same Jurassic World, Jurassic Park feel, but at the same time, he gave us some really great exploration and gave us some really great, outstanding scenes that really rock it out and give us a really interesting new take and really catapult the Jurassic World franchise into a whole new direction. But also, at the same time, Gareth Edwards has one of those types of thought processes of he likes to take what was really good from the originals and bring it into the newer versions and expand on that. And that's what I think he did with, Rebirth. And giving us something that was already great and extending it and making it more entertaining, but didn't try to alter it or change it. And I like that that's what Gareth did, and I think it really proved throughout the film that he had a really great eye on what to bring to life, what to give us, and the different types of dinosaurs to kind of showcase in this film, which I thought were all really unique and cool. So if you're not familiar with anything or have seen anything Gareth Edwards has directed, definitely a great film to check out of his that I think is a really great film. And I don't think I get enough credit for how amazing and interesting the film was. And that, of course, is a film called The Creator. Yeah! The Creator. Yeah! So this is a really fantastic sci-fi action film that is about androids and lifelike androids and stuff like that, and how one android is key to the survival of the AI race and of robots and stuff like that. And I absolutely love what Gareth did with this film. It was on top-notch fun. The action in it was amazing. The story was amazing. The CGI and all the special effects were all done so well and look so real, especially with the main robot character that is supposed to be the kind of savior of robots. And in this one, whereas there's a lot of robot films where robots are bad guys or they're good guys or whatever, they live among society, whereas this one is robots are kind of the bad guys, whereas the humans are supposedly the good guys, but yet it's actually the other way around, and they're being systematically killed off. And that whole process, I thought, showed really the great talent that Gareth has, and the idea and thought process of it was just really done well. And I really enjoyed just everything that Gareth did with that film, and give us a really solid sci-fi film that blew me out of the water with just how entertaining and so well casted as well. If you haven't seen anything Gareth Edwards has directed, definitely check out The Creator. He did a really phenomenal job. But overall, I really enjoyed what he did with Jurassic World Rebirth. I think he made a really fantastic film that's a great part of the franchise. And I absolutely love the direction that they took this in, and giving us great new characters that I think are a great addition to all the other great characters that have been in the franchise so far. If you haven't seen anything Gareth Edwards has directed, go check out Jurassic World Rebirth in theaters. He did a really fantastic job. So this movie has a really fantastic cast that are all new players that we haven't seen in the franchise before. And basically they really wanted to kind of start a new type of, franchise here, new series with all new characters to kind of differentiate it from the previous two. And also they kind of wanted to go a new direction and explore something they really hadn't before with the new actors. And I think that was a really clever idea, and that really helped, I feel, bring in great writers that hadn't been a part of the franchise for a while and brought them back to give their great insight and scoop into bringing a new franchise of this great franchise to life. Now, to start us off with this great cast is none other than kind of the main hero herself, Miss Scarlett Johansson! Oh yeah! Scarlett Johansson! Woo! Scarlett Johansson! Yeah! So Scarlett Johansson, who is absolutely gorgeous. I've been a huge fan of her since I saw her many, many years ago. And I think that she is, become a decent actor. Is she the greatest? No, but overall I think that, she still is entertaining. And very, very much so, very attractive as well. And she's done some great films over the years, and stuff like that you might recognize her from. She did Rough Night. Of course, she was in several of the Marvel films as Black Widow. You might recognize her from The Perfect Score. And you might recognize her from a few other things over the last, 10, 15 years. And, Scarlett is one of those people that, she always usually brings some fun stuff to the characters. Nothing extravagant or crazy, but overall she does a very entertaining job, like I said. And I think that's what she brings to this film and playing her character. And I enjoyed her character. I thought it was a very interesting character. I did think that it was a little too somber. She wasn't as tough as nails as I feel she usually is. And so that was a little different, and I thought that was kind of enjoyable and interesting to see her in a more vulnerable state. But I think she did a lot of great stunts throughout the film. I think that overall she was a really great addition to bring in to have this new, kind of character, to have in the franchise. And I think that she also, contributed quite a bit of fun to the character, too, as well, giving her a little bit of a different type of edge versus what we've seen in previous films. And I think that she did a really good job of holding kind of her being kind of the main boss type of character, too, of everyone. And, channeling what she needed to be able to, get her crew where she needed them to go. And she plays this very interesting character that, you can definitely see she's got emotional ties to things. And overall, I think that she did an okay job. Now, I really enjoyed kind of her relationship with different characters in the film. I thought she did a great job. Her and Mahershala Ali, I love their relationship. I also like her relationship with Jonathan Bailey's character. I think that's a really great character and relationship and stuff like that. And you can definitely tell that they had some chemistry. And I thought that worked out well, and I love that they didn't really go deep into exploring that and kind of keep that a mystery. And I thought that was really done well by Scarlett, and how she really kind of, gave ease to it, but gave kind of reference to it and stuff like that. But at the same time, she kept it back and kept you wondering, like, is there actually a relationship there? And I thought that was really done well by her. Now, if you haven't seen Scarlett Johansson or anything, definitely a great film to check her out, and one of the first films I ever saw her in and absolutely loved her in. Is a great film that came out in 2002 called Eight-Legged Freaks. Yeah! Eight-Legged Freaks. Yeah! Absolutely love this movie, and she's absolutely fantastic as Carrie Ward's daughter in this. I just remember falling in love with her in this film. I thought she was so cute and just so much fun. I liked her attitude. I liked her whole thought process. I thought she kicked butt throughout the film. And I think the film really shows kind of her comedic chops in this film as well. And this is one of the first films I feel, too, that she had a little bit of action going on. And she did some action sequences like that. And I thought she did a good job of that. But I loved her whole thought process and how she played the character and how she's very teenage-like. And I thought that worked out really well and was just overall really fun. And I think that her, characterization of the character, too, was just on point, being that, like, teenage kind of, I'm a good-looking kid type of deal, like, high school knockout type of person, and she worked that out really well, and I thought she did a good job with that. And I just really enjoyed all her interactions with all the other actors and actresses in the film, and they all worked out really well. And I just think it really showed her great acting talent of comedy, in this film, and I think that shines the most for me from her whenever she's in a film, when she does comedy things, and I think she's really good at it. If you haven't seen Scarlett Johansson or anything, definitely check out her in Eight-Legged Freaks. She did a great job. But overall, I really enjoyed her in Jurassic World Rebirth. I think she did a good job, and overall, I think it was just a really fun character and a really great asset to this film. If you haven't seen her recently, Miss Scarlett Johansson, go check her out in Jurassic World Rebirth. She did a really good job. So that brings me to the next actor I like to cover that was in this film. And that is none other than one of Mr. Scarlett Johansson's awesome, amazing crew members that is also kind of like in charge a little bit too. And that, of course, is Mr. Mahershala Ali. Oh yeah, Mahershala Ali. Woo, Mahershala Ali, yeah! So Mahershala Ali, of course, you might recognize from Moonlight, where he won his first Oscar from. You might recognize him from a slew of other things over the years, and he's just a really fantastic actor that I really wish we got more from him in different films. I feel like this is his first film in quite a while, or at least in, big picture film in theaters and everything. But I think he's such a great talent. He is so awesome, so amazing, does such a great job in anything he does, and he just really is a fantastic actor. And also, you just really enjoy him. There's something about Mahershala that you just can't not like him. and he always brings such a great persona to his characters, and also you just have a feeling like that's just how he really is. He's such a really kind and just nice, enjoyable person that has really great intentions for everybody, and he really does practice what he preaches. And I feel that's what he always brings to his characters, and that's what he always brings in anything I've seen him in interviews and stuff like that. And he's just a really great act. And I think he kicks butt. I think he does a great job at everything he does. I think that he has a really great talent for comedy, drama, action, all those different things. And he's just really fun with that. And I think that he brought that in Jurassic World Rebirth. I really enjoyed his character. He was probably one of my funnest characters in this film that I absolutely loved. And I mean, his character's arc was really interesting and fun. And I think that Mahershala did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really solid creation that just really rocked the film and made it very enjoyable and entertaining. And also, I just really enjoyed his relationship with Scarlett Johansson, how they were so close, and they're almost like brother-sister almost, and that they each had a really great mutual respect for each other. And you could see it, you could feel it, and it felt natural and real, and it didn't seem like they were acting. And Mahershala is so good at being very real, and he brought that in his characterization of his character. And I just thought it was really on point, really fantastic. Now, if you haven't seen Mahershala Ali in anything, definitely a film to check him out, and I think it's my all-time favorite of his. And he is just so amazing, this film, and it's based on a true life story and a real person and people that just rocked it and were amazing. It's just an amazing story and so well directed and created by the Farley brothers that this movie is just on point, and Mahershala is so damn good, and he totally deserved his Oscar for this performance. And then, of course, the film called Green Book. Yeah! Green Book. Yeah! He is so amazing as his character of the jazz musician that he portrayed in the film, and he just really embodied him. He embodied him to where you thought he was really pretty much a carbon copy, or he could even been a clone. I mean, he was just so damn good at portraying this jazz musician guy that he just really rocked it. And I really enjoyed Mahershala in it because he really brought a really great fondness. He brought a really great realism to the character of feeling what that singer went through during this time period. Especially because if you don't understand what Green Book means, basically a Green Book at the time, back in the 60s, was a book made especially for black people where they could stay at hotels, where there was a certain strip down the whole entire southern area of the country that where you could only have black people, and that white people were there, and there was places where black people couldn't go still at that time. And so they created this thing called the Green Book that showed you all the different hotels that allowed black people into it. And I thought that was a really clever, interesting idea, just to show that kind of history and kind of what that was like in the South, back in that time period. And this movie was just so well constructed, and Mahershala just rocked it out of here and totally deserved his Oscar for that performance because he was just so damn good in it. And I was blown away by the film. He was just so amazing. And this film, I feel, really shows all the different talents he has of all different types of genres, because there was comedy elements in it. There was a lot of dramatic elements, but there also was some suspense to it, and there's also some kind of like dramatic action to it and all that kind of stuff that really worked out really well. And I really enjoyed just what he brought to it and gave us this really fantastic performance that really rocked and just really showed Mahershala's talent. If you haven't seen Mahershala in anything, definitely check him out in Green Book. He was absolutely phenomenal. But overall, I really enjoyed him. Thought he was one of the best parts about Rebirth, and he just was so damn cool as his character. If you haven't seen Mahershala in anything recently, go check him out in Rebirth. He was absolutely fantastic. So that brings me to the last person I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than a great Mexican actor who is really fun and absolutely enjoyed him in this film. And that, of course, is Mr. Manuel Garcia Ruffalo. Oh, yeah! Manuel Garcia Ruffalo! Yeah! Woo! Oh yeah, Manuel! So Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, or Ruffo, is an amazing Mexican actor who just really rocks it. And I just really enjoy him as an actor. I think he does a great job in anything I ever see him in. He's always awesome. He always is on point, and he's just a really fun actor. And I absolutely loved him in this film as the father of the group of the two girls with the boyfriend. And I just really enjoyed everything he brought to the film. I thought he was so entertaining. I thought he was so awesome. I liked how he really played a father figure. And I thought that was all super enjoyable and just really on point fun. And he really rocked it and really played this character so well. And I liked the camaraderie and all the kind of like the feeling and relationship that he had with his two daughters. And I liked how it all played out and how he like really kind of came to bond with his older daughter's boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. And I just think Manuel did a great job of really emphasizing that and really showing a really well-rounded character that was super entertaining and fun and just really badass. And it was really fun to see like an actual father be a father type of character too, and wasn't some kind of like pussy or a stupid, like acting really stupid and stuff like that. And it was nice to see him actually be like kind of like a father figure, and that was great and that was fun. And I thought that was really done well by Manuel, and I think that it really shined in the film and gave us this really on point character that was really entertaining. And also I just really enjoyed everything that he brought to the character too, because it just felt genuine, it felt real. And I think that he has a really great acting class about himself that I don't think he's gotten to shine really in many movies over the years. But at the same time, I think he has a really great developed talent that is entertaining, fun, and just a really great addition to any film that he is in. Now, if you haven't seen Manuel or anything, definitely a film to check him out in that I absolutely love that came out a couple years ago, and is a remake of a great 1960s film called The Magnificent Seven. Yeah! The Magnificent Seven. Yeah! Magnificent Seven is such a fantastic film. This remake from Antonio Fuqua is amazing. He absolutely like kicked it out of the park, and Manuel plays a really awesome character that's a part of the Magnificent Seven, and he just really delivers in the film. I think he's action-packed. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great addition to that group of guys, and he just really kicks butt in the film and works really well throughout the film. And I loved his comedy and his action elements and everything about it, and I thought he worked really well with everyone from Denzel to Chris Pratt to Ethan Hawke to Byung-Young Lee and all those types of guys, and they all worked so well together. And Manuel was just a really great addition that really was a solid, person and really solid guy coming in and kicking butt and helping out the team to get justice for the people of this town. And I think that he did a really good job of just being a cool like outlaw that really rocked it. If you haven't seen Manuel or anything, definitely check him out in the Magnificent Seven remake. He was absolutely phenomenal. But overall, I really enjoyed him in this film, and Rebirth, he was so awesome, and I just think overall he was just a really fantastic addition. If you haven't seen Manuel or anything, Garcia Ruffo, definitely check him out in Rebirth. He was absolutely fantastic. So some honorable mentions I'd like to mention that were in this film, also that were really great in the film, that I really didn't think that their roles were super huge, but they still had a really great impact in the film. Now, of course, there was the great bad guy in the film who was played by Rupert Fiennes, who was an amazing character in this film. Absolutely loved him. I thought he did a really great job. Thought he was a really great bad guy. Kind of similar to, Ned in the first Jurassic Park, or like the doctor guy that was in Lost World that wanted to sell the baby T-Rex to make money and so forth, and was going to the other island to get the dinosaurs to sell them and stuff like that. Or really any bad guy we've seen in previous films in the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park series, the usual stuff. But overall, I think Rupert Fiennes was just a really great addition to the film. Also, we had Jonathan Bailey, who was a really great addition to the film. He had a very significant role, but I didn't think he was that great. I didn't think he was anything that special in the film. But at the same time, I still think he had a great quality about his character, and it was really interesting, his relationship with Scarlett Johansson and everything. But I have to mention him too. Also have to mention, Mr. Ed Skrein, who had a very small part in the film. That was really awesome to see him. You might recognize him, of course, as from Deadpool 1, who played Francis, who was really great. He's been in a whole bunch of films over the years. He's a really great villain character, and it was funny seeing him play kind of like a little bit of a different character compared to what I've used to seeing him play. So I thought he was a really great addition too, and I just want to shout out these great people that I thought were great additions to the film as well. Now, there's something that I thought was really cool and interesting about this film is there's actually a section of the original book, Jurassic Park, written by Michael Crichton, that was originally supposed to be in the first film. That was in the original first book, but actually ended up getting axed after a while and never got put into it, and they decided to actually put it into Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, that scene happens to be the raft scene that we see in the film with the Tyrannosaurus Rex when they're trying to get the raft and go down the river, and it's chasing them, and it's attacking them, and stuff like that. That actually was in the original book, and also originally was supposed to be in the first film with Dr. Alan Grant and the two kids. But they decided to do it in this one and have it be the Emmanuel Garcia and his two kids and the boyfriend that this happens to. So I thought that was a really cool little tidbit. I did not realize that until it was shown to me. And I thought that was so cool that something from the original book got put into the 7th film in this great series. So I thought that was really cool. But overall, such a great film. Now, if you're not familiar with what Jurassic World Rebirth is about, basically the premise of the story is there's this whole other island where they were experimenting and cross-splicing different types of dinosaurs with dinosaurs. And they end up finding out that a lot of these mammals live really long when they shouldn't have. And so a big pharmaceutical company basically ends up deciding, hey, we need their DNA. Maybe that'll help cure heart disease in people. So they end up going and hiring Scarlett Johansson's character and having her take them to the island to get samples to bring back for this company. And yet we end up finding out that, along the way, there's a lot more to this than what's being meant by the eye. And kind of the crazy things that ensue after what's going on here. So I think that was a really clever idea, a whole new genre, different types of things that really encompassed and gave us something different in the Jurassic World franchise. So I think it's a really fantastic film. Thought it was really well done. Really enjoyed it. Overall, thought it was a really great film. I give it 10 Golden Movie Boxes up. I thought it was really fantastic. A great addition to the franchise. And just overall, I thought everyone did such a great job and just made a really great film that was just super entertaining, enjoyable, and a really great addition to the franchise. If you have not seen Jurassic World Rebirth yet, go check it out in theaters now. Worth a watch. Totally amazing and a great addition, and can't wait to add it to my collection. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out now in theaters. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any other new videos if you haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, a huge shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. But as always, if you haven't already, please check out my awesome Patreon page and think about becoming a member. Because once you become a member, it helps make this channel even better and more entertaining just for you guys. And it helps the channel out. So please check out my awesome Patreon page. Lots of great stuff, outtakes, bloopers, suggestions in what I do next and all that kind of cool stuff. So please check that out. As always, catch you in the next one.